Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Welcome to the show, y'all. Look here, I'm going to get straight to it, man. Brought them step to the boy. The boy Buck. The boy Buck. He actually smacked my COS. Look here. When he did that, they bent him up like a pretzel. Bent him up like a pretzel. And it pissed Mac T off. Pissed him off. Because see, he said he didn't want the boy hurt. But when the boy put his hands on the COS, he got hurt. It wasn't supposed to be that way. It was a simple situation that we were trying to rectify because I went against what the G of the state told me to do. But I did it with the right intentions. But it turned out that it got real sour. The boy liked to fight. He liked it rough. I'm not surprised. But here's the thing. Mac T got rocks in his jaw now. He think we did it on purpose. He think we were trying to hurt the boy. You feel what I'm saying? But we wasn't. And I tried to explain that to him over and over, and he said that he wanted to get him up with the COS. Now, I don't allow that. But see, because the COS is a POA, you got a position of authority, right? Now, you got a problem with the body. Any parts of it, you got a problem with me. So I told Mac T, I said, look here, bro. That's on me. Now, either you stand down, because I'm not going to have somebody running around here with rocks in their jaws towards one of mine. And then they got to be looking over their shoulder, worrying about one of their own. Or you can leave the compound, man. Period. And when I say leave the compound, I mean go to the back. Check in. Because we're not finna tolerate that. Not from inside or outside the organization. So he said, Joe T, man, I ain't even got no problem with, you know what I'm saying, none of what you said, right? It's just that, man, I think, you know what I'm saying, he ain't had to go that far. I said, he hit bro, man. He hit bro. So my COS, he's standing right there. He said, look, no problem, man. You want to get him up? Let's get him up. But after we get him up, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? After we get him up, it's over with. So I looked at my COS. I said, you sure you want to do this? He was like, yeah. Give him what he want. So I looked at Mac T. I said, you sure you want to do this? He was like, yeah, Joe T, I'll feel better. You know what I'm saying? Because when I call my family and they ask me what I did, I got to be able to say something, man. I said I was going to look out for him. I know my cousin messed up in the head, always causing problems and all this and that, right? But he ain't had to hurt him like that. And let me explain something to y'all. Boy hurt him. They sent him to the clinic. Put him to sleep, y'all. Sent him to the clinic, man. He laid up in the clinic, man. You know what I'm saying? On the IV. Yeah, they watching him. He all right. He going to be all right. But he knocked him out. And that pissed Mac T off. Pissed him off. So we go on and let them get him up. They go on the cell and they get him up. They end up scrapping. I mean, they end up getting down. But again, like I told y'all before, I always keep goons around me, man, back in the day. Always. My COS mopped him. He was holding his own for a minute. Then my COS went on and turned up on him, mopped him. Laid him down. And as he lay there on the cell floor, breathing real hard, in and out, I said, you had enough? He's like, yeah, I had enough. I said, look here, let me tell you something. When you get on the phone and you talk to your people, tell them whatever you want to tell them. Tell them whatever you want to tell them. I said, you could have done that before this fight. He said, but I'd have been lying, Joe T. I promised my mama I was going to look out for him. You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up in the clinic. She going to wonder what I did. I want to tell her I got him up with brother for hurting him. You going to tell her you got your ass whooped? That's what I told her. That's what I told her. He said, I ain't going to tell her that part. I said, well, you didn't have to do nothing. You could have made up whatever you going to tell her then. He said, but nah, I wouldn't have been able to live with myself, man. Somebody whooped one of my family members and I don't do nothing about it. And that made me respect him. That made me respect him because if he willing to do that for his blood, you know what I'm saying, he'll do this for this family too. And he turned out to be a real solid brother. Now, Sam, on the other hand, Sam gets out the hospital, at the clinic, and back to the same shenanigans in another unit. Just a troublemaker. Just always wanting trouble, always trying to mess with somebody else's dude, all kinds of stuff. Staying in and out of the hole, and he ended up getting out the penitentiary. He went on with his life and all of that. But when you're in the penitentiary, there's certain rules, certain etiquette that you got to go by, family or not. And one of those is, man, look here, what you got going on, you don't sit on my bunk and do that. You do that in somebody else's cell, but not in the one where, you know what I'm saying, you got one of the guys in. That ain't how that works. Penitentiary etiquette go a long way, man. A long way. Most of the situations that happen in here because somebody done broke the rules. It ain't because somebody just being a predator. Most of the situation, because it's a set of rules in here, just like in the jungle. When the lion is hungry, he eats. When he's not, he chilling. And it's the same in here. Follow the rules. And for the most part, you'll be okay. Do the rules make sense? They wouldn't make sense out there, but they make sense in here. Imagine having to try to deal with 1,000 different personalities, and all of them is crazy, and most of them is homicidal. Think about that. It's hard to balance that out. So the rules that we got in here, the structure that is in play in here, it's in play because it works in here. But the sad thing about that, what works in here, have you not prepared for life out there. That's the balance. Finding that balance. It's a sad situation. But the most important thing about being in the penitentiary is surviving it. Worry about the rest later. That's the saddest thing that I'll probably ever say about this situation in here. Real talk. You gotta survive, but in surviving, messes you up. I'm just grateful that I've detached myself from all of that. Yeah. And if not for my prior reputation, I don't know what it would be like for me. Real talk. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.